Hello, it is I, Bones McKay, and this is my last video on the last times of stories, the ends, the last times, the ending of your stories. So, oh dang, this is the last time we're going to be talking about endings for a bit. And what an adventure it has been. So much information. Okay, so let's address one of the most asked questions about endings. I feel like I say that like every time I talk about any video. Is this true? Please like, comment, and subscribe if it's true. But actually, do I actually do that? I'd have to look through my scripts, but even then I go off the cuff like right now. Okay, let's stop. But what is the question that I'm going to be answering? That question is, how do I write a plot twist? Well, never fear. I am here, and I'm going to tell you how to write a ding-dang plot twist. So plot twists, man, plot twists. Okay. They are when your plot makes an unexpected turn. Not every story needs a big, dramatic plot twist, okay? They can be a normal kind of plot turn. It's perfectly fine. And there's going to be varying degrees of twistiness. Some of them are like 180 degrees. Some of them are 360 degrees, where the twist is that there's no twist, but it's still a twist because you thought there was a twist. Double twist. 360-degree plot twist. Let's have it. Anyways, they can be big, they can be small, they can be medium. Doesn't matter. There's all sorts for different sorts, okay? They don't always have to happen at the ending of your story either. So maybe this isn't a video for the end. Maybe I could have used this to pad out the middle. Either way, they can happen at midpoints, or even they can happen at the inciting incident. Though they're usually not a secret at that point or a huge twist because, you know, that's the kind of stuff you put on the back cover. But that really shouldn't be so much of a plot twist for you if you've been following along, because after all, turning points are just a different kind of twist. And a plot turn is a plot twist that breaks its back a little bit. Anyways, what am I saying? With an ending climactic twist, it's usually what we're talking about here. So I'm gonna be talking a bit about that a little bit, and that one has the most build up before its reveal, and it's usually the biggest kind of plot twist there is. So when it comes to making good plot twists, like a lot of ending stuff, it's good practice to have it in mind first before you actually get to it. I think this is especially important for a plot twist at the ending more than anything else. It's a lot more difficult, and ends up making a lot less sense when you attempt to make a plot twist that you didn't structure for, and even editing for it can be very difficult and completely uproot your plot. So if you're a pantster, I'd recommend at least trying to have a plot twist in mind before you attempt this. Like, have some sort of general idea what the actual truth is before you obfuscate it. The actual ending part may be the exciting part about writing one of these plot twist thingies, but the real work comes in early on in the writing part of your story. This is through the use of red herrings and foreshadowing. Now, I've gone over foreshadowing a whole bunch in a previous video on a topic. The topic was foreshadowing, is where I went in on foreshadowing, and I won't go into huge depth on the subject here, but foreshadowing is subtle tells about, they're subtle clues about what is going to happen in your plot, whereas red herrings are kind of the opposite. So I'm going to go in and talk about red herrings here. If you've never heard of them before, a red herring is kind of a false clue. Plot twists really rely a whole lot on narratives that are based around a red herring or multiple red herrings. Like once red herrings start being pushed aside, it should slowly reveal the truth. Not entirely, but like that's kind of how it works, is you slowly rule out different red herrings until someone pieces everything together. Like, the trick for using them effectively is to treat them like you would any other important bit of information. You kind of want them to imitate anything else in your story that just needs to be revealed, or anything else that your character would think is a clue, be it real or fake. And you can have different red herrings that are leading in different directions. You want to linger on them, you want to build them up, you want your characters to mention them, you want repetition, and you want to give them focus. Red herrings don't always apply to plot twists. They can also apply to kind of humor and other things, but they're very useful in this case is false clues, a false narrative, etc. There is a problem you can run into where you build them up too much and they start to become very overt, even more overt than things that are like actually clues and actually happening, and people will start ignoring things that seem too obvious, and you can run into that with red herrings where they're just too unbelievable. Like, there's too much stock being put into this thing. I think we can all think of stories where this has happened. But the trick is to have beta readers and alpha readers to kind of track their reactions and see how they feel about that. See how they feel about those aspects of the story and see if they can keep up. And do that within your target demographic, because if you're writing like a YA type story, teens might not put things together quite like adults will, quite like middle grade kids will. Not to say they're like stupid or anything, but like you just have a different knowledge base at different ages. And yeah, kids are a little more stupid than adults, but you know, some adults are stupid too. So, you know your demographic. You're all brilliant and talented. Sorry. A lot of times your twist ending can end up being incomprehensible too on the other end of the scale if you don't do enough foreshadowing and you don't pull away from red herrings like soon enough. You should start dismissing your red herrings one at a time and replacing them with stronger foreshadowing and more solid actual clues. And this sort of happens with speed around the third act, not giving people tons of time to keep up with everything, but enough for it to be in their head and to have them at least thinking about the mystery of your plot. Like, the ideal time for your reader to find out your plot twist is seconds before it happens. You want to give your reader the satisfaction of both being bested, but also the satisfaction of discovering something right before it happens. Like, it's very boring if you're a reader and you piece something together early and then they're like, oh, this twist. And you're like, yeah, it's not much of a twist. Whereas it can feel really cheap if you reach the plot twist and then you receive the information you need in order to understand it. And it doesn't feel built into the world where it just, if it feels unfair, it's gonna feel unfair. And usually those cases will either feel like Deus Ex Machina, or they'll just feel like you've been cheated, especially if your story, it relies on discovery and trying to piece together mysteries. And at the very least, you want your reader to just be thinking, like, at the end of your story about all of the clues that you left, leading them to the actual conclusion where it just felt inevitable. And man, you bested them, but that was a wild ride, and they can see all the strings and they're just like super duper satisfied with everything. And that's a lot of work to do, and that's a lot to put on your plate. And beta readers will definitely help you with that tons, just monitoring what reactions people give you. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about editing and promoting and publishing and all of that nonsense in the next few weeks, I guess the next month. And then we are done, the 100 Days of Making Comic Challenge. Man, tomorrow we got Ursula's video, and then on Saturday it is our critique stream. Tomorrow is your last day to get any art submitted in, and if you're a new patron, make sure you go onto the Discord to submit your art, or send us a message on Patreon. We're more likely to see it on Discord. We try our best, but It's hard when y'all are spread apart. And if you want to get your art critiqued, make sure to become an $8 patron before Saturday, or I guess before Friday. And if you miss out on that, well, heck, there's always next month. So see you guys there. Goodbye.